Manchester United 3, Nottingham Forest 2. Rich,
Let's go.
let me know your views about the game, man.
That was a mad game. And I mean, we were sitting here watching this game. In the first 5 minutes, we couldn't believe our eyes. We couldn't believe what was going on. You know, like, we're thinking, you know, start of the game, people have been overreacting in the fan base. We've been overreacting perhaps as well.
Yeah.
You know, let's get a game here, good performance, good win. And then you see that in the first 5 minutes, you think, what is going on? We've lost all hope. But good, we didn't lose all hope because, like you said, actually on the stream, it was only first 5 minutes and we had 85, 90 minutes to, you know, make amends. First thing I'll put out there straight away is the mentality of the players, because we would have absolutely criticized them. Like, just imagine this game finished, you know, Forest went on a low block. We couldn't break them down, you know, finished 2-0 or 2-1, whatever to Forest. Forest win the game. The amount of like attack these players would have gotten. So on the flip side, we also have to give them the praise for the mentality. They've come out here and shown that they can bounce back from a huge setback. Obviously, they were undoing. You know, Rashford on the breakaway, maybe Wan-Bissaka as well, and then obviously the second goal, absolute mess from Martinez and was it Wan-Bissaka again? Actually, yeah. So you know, their own fault, but I had to give it up to them. Mentality monsters, absolutely again, and I hope that this doesn't come out to bite us, because a lot of time last season we said mentality monsters,
yeah,
and then they tailed off at the end of the season.
Yeah,
but they've shown it today at home. Keep that home record going. Excellent performance in the end.
No, we had to talk about the mentality because against Tottenham we didn't really show it in the second half, and like you said, we had 85, 90 minutes, over 100 minutes to get back into the game. Again, what do you think? It was simply just two mistakes in the beginning of the game? Did you see any perhaps weaknesses that we have seen in the previous season that we saw against Tottenham, that we saw against Wolves, that potentially showed in this game? Or do you think, I mean, it was domination from us after we scored, but what do you think?
I think we've got this issue where, and it's a good point you asked, to be fair, because we've got this issue at the start of games where we don't switch on. And, you know, that the set piece particularly was not switching on. And actually, to be fair, even because you don't concede from your own corner, that's just poor game management. So, you know, you can't put that on Ten Hag, right? And people probably, you know, Ten Hag always has questions to answer because he's the manager, he has to take some responsibility. But you can't put that one on Ten Hag. So it's just the switching off at the start of games, and this is actually extends back to Oli days, you know. And you know, we saw it last season. I think in the Europa League, that's how we went out of the Europa League. We conceded a goal, silly goals at the start of the first half, silly goal at the start of the second half. Game's over, you know. And then obviously there's the mistake at the end. So yeah, I think that's an issue, and set pieces we need to deal with better. But otherwise, I think we, like you said, we dominated the rest of the game. This is just Nottingham Forest though. If we do this against a City, a Arsenal, maybe even a Chelsea this year, Newcastle are so good defensively, we wouldn't be, it's unlikely that we'd get punished. And also they'll probably build on it. So, but one thing I'd like to say again is they didn't capitulate, probably because we're at home, probably because it's only Nottingham Forest. So
2 new players come in. Dalot at left back, Eriksen in midfield. What did you think of their impact during this game? Because Mount comes in, everyone expects him to be the new starting midfielder for the whole season. And then obviously, usually Luke Shaw's at left back, but he's probably going to be out maybe until October, November. So what did you think of their impact in this game?
We'll start with Dalot, right? Because probably a quick call. I think he did quite good, right? You know, he had some issues defensively at certain times of the half. But going forward, excellent. And I think what we saw the most was that he supported in that midfield. He did the inversions that the manager likes. So he supported in that midfield. And I think that's what we need from our fullbacks. Now, obviously, we're going forward. We can't have Dalot as our left back long term. But like you said, for the next 2-3 months, he looks like it's going to be him. So hopefully it will improve defensively. Talking about Eriksen now, I think I'm impressed that he gave us good 90 minutes. He had no choice. There was nobody else. So I'm happy that he could give us that. You know, Eriksen has his weaknesses. He can't track back as fast as certain players like Mount. And Mount, you know, just to kind of give Mount some props while he's not even here, he's important to this team. He's important to the way that Ten Hag wants to play. So, and you can see that, you know, Eriksen obviously got a goal, did well, but he doesn't give the same things that Mount does. So, you know, I'm happy that he can fill in at the moment, but obviously, hopefully after this national break, Mount is back and Mount kicks on. Because we need a lot more from him. But yeah.
I think one important player we need to talk about is Bruno. So one last thing is, you know, after Tottenham, everyone was saying he shouldn't be our captain, you know, lack of leadership, you know, grab the players and say, you know, we need to fight. So what did you think of him in this game? Because he scores the penalty, has a good performance.
See, if I could do the Irish accent like Roy Keane does, I say it's absolute nonsense. That all this talk that people give about Bruno, absolute pure nonsense. He's a top player, you know, he's a top player. And you know, on the stream, I said man of the match for me is Rashford because he was involved in all 3 goals, right? You know, just to quickly talk about Rashford. Rashford was on road this season, this game. Obviously, he had his issues, and we all complained about those issues. But I'm gonna push so far on the positive side for him so that it can negate the nonsense that everybody's trying to say about him as well. But Bruno really probably was the real man of the match. He was the captain, like you said. He pulled us from a 2-0 down situation. He made sure that team was ready to, you know, to fight and fight back, bounce back FC as we were called last season. So I big up Bruno for that. But also he was also involved in pretty much all 3 goals, you know, and getting the man sent off. So big up to Bruno. I think, let's be honest, he probably was the man of the match, but I'll still give it to Rashford. So yeah, love him.
Bruno, the real man of the match.
The real man.